Commander Zexthai had overseen training exercises for over 200 cycles, across 17 different species. The Karathi were known for their tactical brilliance, the Vexillani for their lightning reflexes, and the Threnodi for their uncanny ability to predict enemy movements. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared him for humans. The morning simulation was supposed to be routine, a standard urban warfare scenario designed to test coordination, decision-making, and stress response. The mixed species cadet squad would navigate through a holographic city while defending against simulated enemy attacks. Commander Zexthai had run this exact program thousands of times with minimal incidents. Cadet Marcus Chen, the lone human in Delta Squad, moved with his teammates through the virtual streets. The Karathi cadet Veltar provided strategic analysis from the rear. The Vexillani twins Zip and Zap darted between cover with their characteristic speed. The massive Grokian Thun served as their heavy weapons specialist. And then there was Chen, compact, unremarkable by most galactic standards, quietly following orders and keeping pace. The first wave of enemy drones swept down from the simulated sky. Standard protocol called for immediate cover-seeking behavior. Most species would dive behind the nearest barrier, assess the situation, and coordinate a response. Chen, however, sprinted directly toward the largest concentration of enemy fire. "Human, what are you doing?" Veltar's mandibles clicked anxiously over the comm. "Creating an opportunity," Chen replied, his voice steady despite the plasma bolts streaking past his head. What happened next would be discussed in military academies for decades to come. A massive explosion rocked the simulation as Chen triggered a chain reaction in the enemy's ammunition depot. The blast was far more powerful than anticipated, a glitch in the holographic system's damage calculations. The shockwave launched Chen 30 meters through the air, sending him crashing through a simulated concrete wall before he tumbled to the ground in a heap of debris. Emergency protocols activated immediately. The simulation froze, medical scanners engaged, and Commander Zexthai rushed to the scene with a medical team. Most species would be unconscious, severely injured, or worse from such an impact. The Karathi would have broken their exoskeletons. The Vexillani would have suffered multiple fractures to their hollow bones. Even the mighty Grokian would require immediate medical attention. Chen sat up in the rubble, dust cascading from his training uniform. "Did we complete the objective?" he asked, looking around with mild confusion. The medical scanner in Dr. Velnara's appendages beeped frantically. "Impossible," she muttered, her three eyes widening. "The readings indicate massive trauma, broken ribs, internal bleeding, severe concussion symptoms. He should be dying." Chen noticed the concerned looks from his squadmates and the medical team. He stood up, brushing dust from his shoulders with casual indifference. "Oh, this?" He gestured to a dark stain spreading across his uniform where blood was seeping through. "Just a scratch. I've had worse falling off my bike as a kid." Commander Zexthai's tentacles trembled. In all his years of service, he had never witnessed such a disconnect between injury severity and pain response. "Cadet Chen, you need immediate medical attention. The scanners indicate—" "Sir, with respect," Chen interrupted, testing his range of motion by rolling his shoulders. "I feel fine. A little sore maybe, but nothing that won't work itself out. Are we continuing the exercise?" The silence that followed was deafening. The medical team exchanged glances that seemed to communicate entire conversations about human physiology and psychology. Dr. Velnara ran her scanner over Chen 3 more times, each beep confirming the impossible. "Your species," and she began hesitantly. "You carry on with such injuries regularly?" Chen shrugged, then winced slightly. "Well, not regularly, but you know how it is. You adapt. My grandfather used to say that pain is just weakness leaving the body." He paused, noticing their horrified expressions. That's not normal for other species, is it?" Veltar's mandibles clicked rapidly, the Karathi equivalent of nervous laughter. "Cadet Chen, most of us would require immediate hibernation therapy for such trauma. The Vexillani would need complete skeletal reconstruction. The shock alone would incapacitate most species for days." "Huh," Chen said thoughtfully. "Well, humans are pretty good at ignoring stuff that hurts. We had to be, I guess. Natural selection and all that. If our ancestors stopped every time something hurt, we probably wouldn't have made it out of the caves." Thun, the Grokian, who rarely spoke due to his species' contemplative nature, rumbled a low observation. "Your people must be terrifying in actual combat." Chen considered this seriously. Honestly, we don't really think about it. Pain is just information. You acknowledge it, understand what it's telling you, then decide if you can work with it or around it. Today it's telling me I should probably take some pain medication and avoid heavy lifting for a week or so. He looked directly at Commander Zextai, but it's not telling me to quit. The commander found himself reassessing everything he thought he knew about human military potential. The intelligence reports had mentioned human pain tolerance, but this went far beyond tolerance. This was pain partnership, a conscious decision to acknowledge suffering while refusing to be controlled by it. Dr. Velnara finally spoke, her voice filled with something between admiration and concern. Cadet Chen, you absolutely require medical treatment. Your species' pain response may allow you to function, but ignoring severe injuries will cause permanent damage. Fair enough, Doc, Chen replied agreeably. He turned to his squad mates. Good work today, everyone. Feltar, excellent tactical analysis on that flanking maneuver. Zip-zap, that synchronized covering fire was beautiful. Thune, your demolition work was spot on. He looked back at the smoking crater where the ammunition depot had been. Though next time, maybe we should double-check the blast radius. Calculations as the medical team escorted Chen to the infirmary, with him walking under his own power and asking about lunch. Commander Zextai made a mental note to completely revise the human sections of the training manual. Later, filing his incident report, Zextai wrote, Recommendation: human cadets should undergo specialized psychological evaluation not for weakness, but for their disturbing tendency to treat severe trauma as minor inconvenience. Advise all instructors that human pain responses cannot be used as reliable indicators of injury severity. Further study required to understand how this species achieved spaceflight without killing themselves through sheer stubbornness. In the medical bay, Chen was finally convinced to lie down for proper treatment, though he spent the entire procedure asking Dr. Velnara about her homeworld's cuisine and whether they had any good physical therapy techniques he could try. Some species were born for war through aggression, others through intelligence or speed or strength. Humans apparently were born for war through the simple, terrifying ability to look pain in the eye and politely ask it to wait its turn.